Starting, all attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our July 2024 Enlightenment class. Um, Thank you. We've got a good group today. Great, great. Hope you had a good lunch. Before we get started, though, there's on your control panel, there's a little hand there. If you can click that hand, that will indicate to me that you can hear me okay, and we can go ahead and get started. Oh, wow. Great. Thank you. Perfect. All right. So we'll go ahead and get started. Our topic today, of course, is going to be route manager. We won't cover all of it, but we can cover a lot of it. Okay. So we'll go ahead and get started here. Go ahead and share my screen here and just show you a quick little PowerPoint here. Welcome screen here. Okay. And SkyBridge. So this is basically what we're going to be talking about today, and it is route manager. Of course, whenever you have thousands of components, you just can't give that to one person. So route manager allows you to give it to multiple people, but it also allows you to manage your routes in a more effective way where you can be more efficient with not only giving the information out to the individual technicians, but managing how you give it to them as well. So just to take a look at this here, this is over in this area here, you have the reload tree, add route. When you want to add a new route, there's the add route button there. And I'll show you how to do this too. I'm just showing you what is involved here. Um, Once you create the route, you can have one route under the technician name, or you can have multiple routes under the technician name, and they'll have access to all these routes in their handheld devices. Okay, so maybe Jack here, I got maybe 3Q 2024. I got an out of service inspection route that I do visuals just to do a visual, and then I'll put a comment either it's still on OOS or it's take it off. You can process OOS component if it's a visual inspection, not a method 21. I got a route sequencing tool that I have a route for. I put those components in because if, as you notice here, right here it has set temp order and set permanent order. So this is where before you in LeakDOS you had to do the set permanent order in components, but now you do the set permanent order in Route Manager. So you can have a route for that, and tag maintenance allows you to go out and just make sure all the I's are dotted and T's are crossed on the components, and all you have is like an edit button if you need to change anything, and then done if it's nothing. And I have a visual route here. So it's just an ideal, um, some suggestions how you can set your routes up. The sky's the limit, however you want to set them up, and you use them over and over, right? You use these over. Once I finish with this 2Q last quarter, I can change it to 3Q and do the same thing. As you load them up, as you monitor, they deduct the ones that you monitored already. So you'll see that deduction. On the route level, this is the route name, and you can change it to whatever you want to change it to, but you have to hit the save button here when you do that. Okay. Here's the options here, though. Even though you have these checked on the technician level, mobile edits allowed, meaning they can change the tag number, location description, and mobile compliance allowed, meaning they can change the class, the chemical state, and change, add, remove regulations. But you can control that on the route level too. So even though Jack has these two checked under his name, technician name, that he can do it, I can still control what routes he can do it in, right? So again, you can do that. It still has the technician name. If Jack wasn't here today, I can just pull that little pick list down and give it to someone else, and they'll have that. There's no reason to go and dump them out and back into the schedule and then reload them for someone else. You just pull a pick list down and maybe give it to Alice here, and she'll have that monitoring in her handheld to go out and monitor. Okay. Tech ID Yeah, everything has a tech ID just like Lead DOS, but this is not used to download the information. Only thing you need to download to the Sky Mobile is the company name, the technician name, and the technician password, which you can find right here in the managed text. You can find the technician password. So everything you need to sync with is right in the software. Monitoring due date, that's just a date information only. So maybe you out of town and you say, I want it done. The due date, maybe 3 days before, is actually due to be completed. Just information on it. They won't do anything for you. Okay. This is the maximum amount that you can put inside the route here. I got it set for 1,000. So if I put 2,000 in here, it only show 1,000 in the route. Okay. So if I want to increase that, if I want to put more, I would have to increase it and then hit save here. All right. Save the button there. Now you can add your drawings now. You know that feature in under components. There's drawings where you can add your drawings to SkyBridge. Now you can actually add them to the route too here and then download them to the handheld. So you can download your drawings to the handheld now and have them available. So you can use them to maybe find components or look at for any issues that's out in the field. Okay. This is the route type. You have monitor, paper, tag maintenance, and then survey mode. Those are the different modes. Now, one thing you won't see here as far as routes, now all these you will see in the handheld, but there's a hidden route here called open leaks. Everyone get the open leaks route, right? So this is where it looks on the handheld. When you go to select routes, you'll see one called open leaks, and that's all your open work requests. They're going to be in that route there. So if you have an issue where not an issue, but you have a maintenance personnel repaired something and they call you and says, hey, I repaired this, come and take a retest, that technician do not have to go back and download that tag number. It's already in the handheld. Okay, everybody have it. So someone can't say, well, I don't have it, he has it. No, everybody has the open links route. Okay, and you can use it however you want to use it. Okay. Um, you do have a couple ways to add components to the route. I like to go to Route Builder, and I'll explain that why. I'll explain why. But you can manage the text here if you need to add a new technician, delete a technician, or change the password for the technician, or find the password for the technician. There's the manage text here. Okay. But also you have add tags here. So adding a tag here will add it straight to this one route here. Okay, add it to the route that I'm selected. So Jack, when I hit add tags, it's pointing to this route, 2Q 2024. Okay, all right. So let's take a look at that right quick. Okay, just want to show you here when you click on manage technicians, this is what it looks like. Okay. There's a plus sign to add new technicians. But I mentioned earlier, you can, on a technician level, you can allow reg changes, allow mobile edits here too, but you can control that on the routes too, individual routes. So if I want them to change it or have the power to make the edits, I would have to check it here, both boxes, and I would have to check it on the route too. So if I check it here and don't check it on the routes, they won't be able to make the changes. Okay. And here's the passwords. All you have to do is view password, and you can find the password for any technician. Okay. All right. All right. Great. Great. So let's get in here and go into SkyBridge. Okay. So the main goal is to get these components here. Now the visuals I can get into a route pretty quick by just clicking here and add them to the route here. I'll do select all units, and I can add them, but I'm gonna show you another way to put them in. But I can add them to a route right here. Selected route. I can pick the route that I want to add it to right here. I already have a route called visual, so there's the visual route. I can just add them right here. Okay. But I'm gonna show you another way too that I can add those. But you see how these are due? and I'm looking at when I do my filtering to put individual components in my route, I'm filtering for this end date because I'm using my schedule, right? So one of the things I can add unit name, I can add area, I can add other criteria to my filter, but I want to also include the inspection end date or the due date. Okay. So I'll go to route manager here. So go to routing, go to routes, and I'm gonna show you the route builder first. So here I want to put some route components into Alice route, and I want to put some components into Jack's route, right? 3Q, and maybe DAC route too. Three routes, quarterly routes I want to put in individual components in. And you saw I have like 5,000 components. So I'm gonna go to route builder here. And remember, I want to filter for uh, the end date. So I'll do uh, monitor end. So I just type in end. So that's next monitor end is equal to, and I should get all those end dates. And the one I'm looking for is 7/31/2024, right? Add that. And I want to go a specific unit. So I go here again, click here and just type in unit. Right. Yeah, there we go. Unit description is equal to, and I'm gonna do storage. Okay. You can add other stuff too if you want to. You can save these filters as well. We'll go ahead and retrieve this information. Okay. Okay. So here I want to start in storage, and I want to start by giving Jack some components, DAC, and Alice. So the first thing I want to do is highlight one component where I want to start, right click, and then select next in row. And I'm going to give her Alice just 10 records just to make sure it goes quicker. In your case, you probably give it like 200 or 300. So I'll select 10, and all I have to do is go over here to the route and click on the route, right? Hit yes, and those 10 is going to go into Alice route. So I haven't left the schedule. I'm still in the schedule, so I can continue on here. So I go to the next component, right click here, go select the next in route, and you can scroll down to, pick and choose where you want to start. And I'm going to give DAC 10 records. Yep. Yes. And there's 10. And again, I'm still in a schedule. And I'm going to go back over here and I'm going to start right here instead of up there. Because there's a column here that they don't want to go on. So I'm going to start right here, skip the column, select next in row, come here, do 10, select, and then I'm going to go ahead here to Jack and put 10 in here. Okay. So there's the 10 here that I put in there, but I also want to give Jack the visuals. So what I'll do is go under filter, and I can take this one off, these two, because the due date, right, is the end of the week. So but I'm going to try this first. I'm going to go test type, and I'm going to do is visual. Okay. I'm going to add that and then retrieve. All right. So that's 204 there. And I think I only had like 140. So some of these probably some retests, visual retests. So let me just go back to the filter, and I'll do class, and I'll do pump. And let's see what number we get here. So we get close to what we got on the main page here. So again, I'll test type V, and I'll go ahead and start here. Right click, select next in row, and I want to get all these 100 and right there they have. I'll just select all these. Yeah. Select, and then click on the visual route. I just had 20 selected there. Sorry about that. Okay. So again, those are the components. I can download those now to my handheld device. So go here to sync, and I have it set for Jack. So Jack can get this, 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 and this. Okay. You get those components. So I'll sync that. While that's syncing, I'm gonna show you the other way. Now, right now, I'm still in the schedule. To get back to the route manager, you go right here, go back to route manager. So you click on the button right here. That's gonna bring you back. Now, the other way to add tags, and I'll go to Alice this time, and I'll just go to this tester route, is to add tags here, right? So you click on add tags here, and you do the same filter. I can do next monitor in, so XT. Next monitor in is equal to, I'll do July 31st, add that, and retrieve. See, so I had to click on the route first that I want to put it in. So now I can go here and click on some components here. Just select them, right? And it tells you how many you selected up here at the top. So if I go here and hit the shift key, you got 23. It says add selected tags to route. So go here and add the tags to the route that I just come out of. And I was on a tester route, so I put them in a tester route, right? So I have to go back over here if I want to put them into another route, then I have to click on this route and do add tags again. So again, the route, go to route builder, I think it's much more efficient because you stay in the schedule till you load up all your routes and then you get out of it. But here you would have to go to each route and add components there for you. Okay. So again, just something to think about there. Another thing too is these routes, there's your reload tree if you want to refresh your tree here. You can delete these routes too once you finish with them or don't need them anymore. You can delete them. This is the managed text here that we talked about earlier. But again, what I really like about this is the fact that all you need to sync with is the company name, the username, and the password. And again, in routes, it's going to tell you the company name. It's going to give you the technician. Here's the username. And to find the username password, if I just highlight that as password one. But if it's not syncing, you can go to manage text and then find Jack and view password, right? There's password one, okay? So there's no more, I can't find the password. I got to get a hold of IT and get that taken care of. Nope, no more of that, right? So again, the information that you have in here in the routes too, just some options, other options that you have. If you notice, every route has a route summary now before you just see the route list detail, right? So again, I want to right click on there. I get a couple options. I can move selected to another route. I can force test type. You had that in Leak DOS. Set temporary route order. Set permanent route sequencing. You can do that too. So if you just want to do temporary, you can do that. You had that in Leak DOS, but here permanent route sequencing. So you'll put a whole unit in here if you wanted to. And what you can, let me just click on this. Will permanently resequence selected components in the grid. Do you want to continue? Yes. It says starting with sequence one, increment by maybe 5. I'll leave a gap in between so I can come back and enter in between there if I need to. Okay. Successfully sync those. Okay. Route list detail. Now, and that was temp. So if I go here to permanent, I think that was the one I was on. Permanent here. Same thing, you're going to put in here the starting sequence number, how you want to increment it. And then you want to put here select filter to sort on. So I will sort on last inspection date and time. And I went out and did a route, a visual route. That way I wasn't had time constraint. And I put it in an order, just walking the lines, hitting pass, 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 pass in the order that I want to go out and monitor in the next time. And I hit visual, add selected here, ascending, descending, and last inspection date and apply. Okay. So that's a way to get things in order. If your routes are all jumping around, you can do that here. Okay. So that's the options that you have in Route Manager now that you didn't have. You had set temp order, but now you got the permanent order here right now. Okay. You still have paper route. Um, if you have to do it on paper, remember, see the makeup of it right now. You see like the route, unit, area, class, all that good stuff. And when I right click here, I get force test type, just like delete component out of here, move selected to another route. But when I hit paper route and I save the route, now when I look at it, it's more or less asking for inspection information, the sensory visual, like pass or fail, maximum reading, background reading, inspector, instrument, date. And again, you can still globally add that information in. Now when I right click, I don't get those other menus. I get a different menu. I get monitor selected. You have also send to quarantine, and you have send monitor to quarantine, method 21 and visual. Okay. So if I do maybe a couple of these, maybe two, and I do monitor selected. And again, this works the same way leak DOS works. So if you ever did anything on paper in leak DOS, it works the same way. 0, the inspector, the maximum reading was I got about 2, the instrument, and any notes, anything, pass. If it's a visual, you just hit pass here. Apply, and you see I populated all those. So maybe you had 100 in here and all you had was low readings. But then once you put all your readings in, you can come back individually and do the same thing. Just highlight the one that's leaking, right click. And all this information is already populated. So all you need to change is the maximum, right? Maximum reading. And I'll put this at a reading that's going to be called a leaker, right? There's a 10,000 leaking. And now I can highlight the 2. I don't really have to highlight them. And then go ahead and hit send monitor to quarantine. Send that to quarantine. Now, since I'm talking about paper route, there is a report under routing. So if I go under routing, reports, and under, what is it? Other reports, is it? Yeah, route listing under scheduling, I'm sorry. So you would print that out first. I know many of you don't do this, but sometimes you get in a situation where your machine's all down and you get authorization that you can go ahead and do it on paper. So again, you can do that. Also here on the routes is the fact that we saw the two difference between go to route builder and go to add tags. But I just want to show you something too. Schedule detail, see right here, schedule detail is the same as route manager, basically the same, right? So only thing that I think you can do here that you can't do in, let me just set a filter right quick. Next, monitor in, and I'll do the 731, add that and hit retrieve. I think the only thing that you can't do there is process EOP. So in the schedule, the routing and then schedule detail, it works the same way. Back to route builder, you can process EOP here. So it's whatever you're comfortable with using. But I like the fact that you can process EOP here. If you forget to do it on the main page, you can do it here too. Okay. Go back to routes and click on the route here. And again, just to show you these two, monitoring, of course, that's the Method 21 visual monitoring paper route. You just saw that. Tag maintenance, when you do a tag maintenance route and save it, kind of looks like, I'll show you what it looks like in the handheld right quick. If I go to the handheld device, this is just Method 21. And this is up here when I click on the routes at the top up here. Now this is how you get to the different routes. You click on here and you see the open leaks route. That's the ones that I mentioned. It's a hidden route. You can't see it on the front end, but everybody gets that. But if I go to tag maintenance route, you see how it just shows edits and done? It doesn't have Method 21 or visual. So if I just hit edit, if I go here and I said, okay, this is the tag number, I see the tag number FE100, that's good. It's a valve, that's the size, uh, the the uh, the location description, and I can just hit done, right? And then when I open this up and go to the results here, so it says tag verified by Jack at the date and time, and that information is going to go into the under comments field in SkyBridge, right? So under history and then under comments, you'll see the verified tag that was verified, the date and time that it was verified. If you don't want to do that, just hit delete, and it will delete that information. Okay, and you go back. But if you want to edit it, say I'm out in the field, I want to hit edit. Then you got all these fields you can edit, like it's not a 3 inch, maybe it's a 4 inch. But that's the tag maintenance route. Allows you to download, a whole unit maybe. Maybe the technicians finished up the quarterly routes early, and then they can go to tag maintenance and start doing a little tag maintenance before they come in. Okay. Just something you can think about. Okay. So again, that's basically the route manager. Again, I like the way you can have multiple routes under the technician and fill those up. Um, the way again, if it has components inside of the routes, they will be downloaded. If the route is empty, like this route sequencing, you didn't see that in the handheld because there's no components in that uh, route. So that won't get downloaded. So anything with components in it will be downloaded to the handheld device. Okay. So again, if you want to delete the route, you no longer need it. So if I go under here to Alice, she don't need this test route anymore. I just hit delete route, and the route's gonna go away. I refresh, reload the screen here, and that route's gone. Right, no more. And if I want to rename a route, you just go here. I'll just go here to route sequencing. Just go route tool, and then you're gonna hit save. So you want to make sure you hit save route every time you change the name of it. Okay, change the name. And survey mode, you can download that. It's just to take a survey out in the field. Really no meaning to that. Um, Most people do monitoring. I don't think anybody go out and do surveys unless you have an auditor comes out and do a survey, and that information will be flagged as survey. Now, when you add a new route, it's going to ask you too now, what type of route is it? So I want to add a new route. Say it's maybe the EPA is coming out. Okay. And then your technician is going to be Jack walking with him. And the test type, the route type is going to be survey. And then you're going to save that. Okay. And there's Jack. And there's the EPA route. And this is a survey route. Right. So when you add a route now, it's going to ask you to type. Most of you are going to do monitoring. Right. Most of you are going to do monitoring. So that's not. Not a big deal. But tag maintenance, I think, is utilized a lot. Monitoring and tag maintenance is utilized a lot. Of course, monitoring is your main one that you're going to be using. Um, so again, and you can look at this little information right here. It says more information, route type. And you see here, it gives you monitoring route, paper route, and this survey route. This is a special kind of route that can be used to track technician location and walking path while performing optical camera. Okay, so this camera, sorry about that. Fence line or other types of activities. You can also log inspections while using the route type. Okay, very good. Okay, learn something new. All right. Told you. Forget what I just said about the EPA then. Sorry about that. But again, we're going to inculcate a lot of the OGI stuff in here too. So I think they're getting ready for that. And that's going to be coming up pretty soon. But again, just to reiterate before we get out, the route manager or routes are here. We have schedule detail, whichever one you prefer. You can use them to get information. But also, I don't know if you guys use this or not, but let me just show you something here too. Another filter that you can utilize. Let me go to Route Builder and I go to next. Well, I'll just do monitoring, just that type. Okay. So monitoring type description. We did test type earlier, but monitoring type description, you're gonna get follow up, retest, and schedule. So if you have a route in here, maybe you have Jack, but you have Jack and you got a route called follow up. You can put all your follow ups in Jack's route, right? So add filter and then hit retrieve. So all these were leaking and they were repaired. Now I already have the leaks in here in the open leaks route, but I don't have the follow-ups in here. So if you want to distinguish between the two, just use monitoring type description. And then you can go over here and I can click here. Let me see here. And I'll put all 11 in here. And I'll put that in the EPA route. And I'm going to go back here. And before you take that to the bank, I'm going to go ahead and rename this to follow up. Okay. Okay. And now I got my regular components that I need to monitor. Let me refresh this, reload that. I know you're gonna say Dwight told that, so okay, don't say that. You know what survey means. You can just click that button right there. Just kidding with you. Here's the like your normal monitoring. Here's your follow up. Here's your route sequencing tool route. Here's your tag maintenance route. Here's your visual route as well. And then you remember in the handheld itself, uh, everyone will have the open leaks route. And when they click on the open leaks route, you can actually go see if it's a DOR or not. I think they're going to put a flag on here. But if I click here, you can see here the reading. And if you click on the work request itself, it'll show right here. It says delay fall. So it's just a uh, a leaking component with a work request open. And all they need to do is when the maintenance personnel call, they'll find the tag and then they'll come and take a reading first. They'll put the reading, maybe it passed, and they'll log the reading. And then they'll come here and click here and add the repair. What did they do to repair it? Tighten packing, repair by DW, and then add that and then close. And if I didn't fix it here, it's going to keep what I did previously and it'll just show you how many times I tried to do that. So when I upload this and sync it, it's going to close that work request out for me. Okay. So that's the good thing about having an open leaks route in the handheld devices. Okay. All right. Perfect. So again, use that, use those dates though. That's what I really like to inculcate or trying to drill into you here is these end dates here, because that's your schedule. If you just go under components and put them into a route, you can still do that too. If I go under components and I do unit description and go here to storage, add selected, and then retrieve. And what I like about this too, I mean, you can do this, but you're not using the schedule, you're just over complying really. If you got components that you don't need to monitor and you're just adding them. See, I selected all of them and it gives you how many I added here up at the top, how many rows I have selected. So if I grab a couple here and then scroll down, and then do shift, and I got 73 selected, right click, add to route. I can still add it here to existing route, or I can create a new route. So I got Alice here, visual route. I can put them in there. But here it says, or a name to create a new route. So I already had one, and I was able to put components in there from the components list. Okay. But again, that's an option that you can do. But it's always good to use that next monitor in your filter on routes. And remember too that in the routes, anytime you go to the filter, you just go to filter builder, you can still save routes. So if you build one for every month that you're going to use every month, like pumps. So pumps would be visual, test type V, and maybe, test monitoring type description is normal. And it'd put all your visual pumps every quarter. Or you can just put pumps here. Just component class is equal to pump, save it. So when you come here, all you do is go to your save filters and then open it up and then go to there's your filters right there, save filters, and then you click on it and it will bring back the pumps. You wouldn't have to come here and do all the filtering here. Okay. So you can save the filters. Um, you can share with other individuals too that's using the same database. So again, so that's pretty neat. All right, hopefully this was helpful for you today. This is July class, and of course I went on finally recorded this one. So if you have somebody that didn't get it or wasn't able to make it, just let me know. I'll send it to you. Okay. So enjoy the rest of your day and be safe. Okay. This will end our webinar. All right. Bye bye.